What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for those of you who are new, don't forget to subscribe down below if you do enjoy today's video, guys. So if you guys have kept up with the channel, you guys have been watching all my videos, you guys know that the M5 does have wastegate rattle, which is very common with the M5s. It's something that if you don't have the catalyst downpipes, you won't really hear it, but once you put those catalyst downpipes on, you're gonna for sure hear it. And I can tell you guys that that is true. I've seen it a lot in the forums, and the same exact thing happened to me. Before, I didn't really hear any wastegate rattle, but when I did put the catalyst downpipes on, you can hear the wastegate rattle a lot. But yeah, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I recently took off my downpipes again and I wrapped them with heat wrap. And while I was there, I decided to put something on the wastegate to try to get rid of the wastegate rattle, and it did work. It was pretty good until it stopped working. So I don't know, I'm gonna check it right now. I don't know if that piece that I put fell off or if it melted or what, because it was like rubberish. But yeah, the main reason why we put that was to make sure that we know what was causing the wastegate rattle. So that for sure was causing the wastegate rattle. And yeah, today we're going to attempt to get rid of the wastegate rattle completely. So this wastegate rattle is something that just happens with a lot of turbo cars. It's not just the M5, it's not just, you know, it happens with a lot of cars. And one car that does it a lot, that a lot of people complain about, is the M54. So a lot of people have tried to come up with different fixes to do it, and one of the fixes that a lot of people end up going with is adding some springs on the wastegate. So what they do is they put a spring on the wastegate, and they put one end on the wastegate and the other end somewhere to create some tension between the wastegate and the actual turbo, and that way it's not rattling so much. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. Shouldn't be too hard. So obviously the engine cover has to come off first. So this right here is what you guys are left with once you take off the engine cover. First thing you want to do, or first thing I would do, take off this bolt right here. That will let you pull this up out of its little grommet and move it to the side. The next thing you want to do is just pull off all the DMEs. So there's 4 little grommets, as you guys can see right there. There's one here, and then 2 on the bottom corners. Just go ahead and pull them off. I'll pull the rest of it off after. That you can just move it to the side. Same with this one over here. You're just gonna pull it off. Once you guys pull off the DMEs, what you want to do is take off these bolts that are down here. You guys see that Torx right there. There's another one right there. And there's gonna be 2 in the same exact spot on the other side. So go ahead and take those off. I believe they're T30s, but I'll make sure right now. Okay guys, so this is gonna be a T25, and then the 4 bolts on this brace that I was just telling you guys about are gonna be T30s. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off real quick. There's also gonna be that little nut that I can take off. You guys can see where it's at. The same one on this side over here. And then once you do that, you wanna take off this Torx right here that's holding on this little high pressure fuel pump heat shield. There's gonna be 2 Torx. So let me see if I can show you guys. There's gonna be one right there, and one right there that you guys can see right here. It's on this heat shield. You guys will see where it's at. There's 2 Torx. Same ones on that side. Make sure you take both of those off carefully. Make sure you don't lose them. And then you're gonna want to disconnect this hose from here. Same one on the other side. Disconnect them, and then that will allow you to go ahead and remove this heat shield all the way. The reason you have to take that off is because it's in the way of taking this piece off. Now if you have your catalyst downpipes, you most likely don't have the little covers that go in here. If you do, you will need a special O2 sensor tool to actually remove the O2 sensors before you can take this piece off. Once I put on the catalyst downpipes, I didn't put those back on because they didn't fit. They just didn't fit anymore because the O2 sensor hole doesn't align perfectly in the center of this little hole right here. So yeah, I don't have to take the O2 sensors off in order to take off the cover. It'll come off. I just gotta finagle it a little bit, move it left and right a bit and stuff. But yeah, there will also be Torx on the side of this heat shield. You guys can see one of them right there. There should be 3. I believe I didn't put all of them back on when I did it, but there should be 3 on this side and 3 on this side. Go ahead and take those off, and that will allow you to take off the cover. And yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do to get rid of all that stuff on top. So now let me go ahead and do this real quick, and I will get back to you guys once I'm done. Alright guys, so we got everything off right there. I would suggest you get one of these little magnetic trays to put all your bolts and nuts and everything, just so that you don't lose any of your bolts. Anyways, I got all this off. Like I said, I'll show you guys how to take this off. These have the 2 bolts that I was telling you guys about. These are the high pressure fuel pump heat shields. That one has 3 bolts, which would be right here, right here, and right here. Same 3 on the other side. right here, right here, and right here. I think I only had one on each side just because I don't think it really needs all three. People will beg to differ, but anyways, now that we're here, you guys can see the heat wrap downpipes. It looks so sick. Anyways, guys, now what we're gonna do is try to put a spring on the wastegates. As you guys watched my story, we had to put a little rubber thing right here because this is literally what rattles. This thing. This is what causes the wastegate rattle. But the wastegate itself isn't actually like loose. So it's just this right here. They're just poorly built, I guess. So what we're gonna do is put an actual spring from the wastegate's rod somewhere to where it can create some tension and pull it back. That way it's not rattling back and forth. The spring will make it stay like this way, and it won't be shaking. So yeah, let me figure it out. Let me see exactly what would be the best spot to put these things, and then I'll get back to you guys once I have it all set. By the way, guys, I got this spring box from Harbor Freight. If I find it on Amazon, I'll go ahead and link it. If not, Harbor Freight has it. I'll try to find a link to Harbor Freight's as well. I'm thinking of using something like these for the driver's side turbo, and then probably a smaller one because there's less space. Maybe something like this one for the passenger side turbo. And then whichever ones I end up using, I'll let you guys know what sizes it is because it actually shows right here. But yeah, let me figure it out, see which springs is best to use and which location is best to put it, and I'll let you guys know what I decide to do. Alright guys, so after like an hour of trying to figure out exactly where to put the springs and messing with different springs and stuff, this is what I have come up with. So I believe I used the same spring on both turbos, or both wastegates. It's going to be this one. So the 932 by 2, I believe this is the one, which would be like this. Again, I'll try to find this actual box that I used and link it down in the description for you guys to go ahead and buy it. But sorry for the lighting, guys. So what I did is I put the spring from the actual wastegate, as you guys can see right here, the wastegate rod, and I brought it up and hooked this one up right here. You guys can see, let me try to focus on that right there. So it seems like it's not gonna move. Hopefully it doesn't actually come off, because that's gonna be pretty annoying. But it seems like it's not going to. So that's that one. You guys can see. You guys can see it down there on the rod. It came up and hooked up right here. So that's that one. For the other one, it was a bit more tricky because basically what you want to do, you want to create tension going that way so that this doesn't move so much. As you guys can see, I'm pretty sure you guys saw how easily it was moving before. Now I got to do some pressure for it to actually make any noise. So I figured it out. I ended up doing it like this. So you guys can see I hooked it up to the rod. I went around this little cover, as you guys can see, so it can create some tension going this way. And then I just hooked it on right here onto this the edge of this little metal piece. So this one also seems like it's not going anywhere, so hopefully this stays in place nicely. And this one too, this one moves a little bit easier, but still not as easy as it was moving before. So hopefully that gets rid of at least like 90% of the wastegate rattle. Obviously this is a problem that it's gonna have. I don't mind if it has a little bit of wastegate rattle, as long as it gets rid of most of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure the springs don't move at all. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back on and we'll go ahead and test it out. I actually wasn't able to get a video of what the wastegate rattle sounds on the M5. I saw a video on the forums a while back. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find it anymore. So it sounds exactly the same as the M54. We can go for a drive and hopefully we don't hear any more wastegate rattle. But even if we do, you know, this is trial and error, so we can go ahead and take all this off. It did take me like 15 minutes to take everything off. But again, we can go ahead and take all this off again and put a spring that actually works. And yeah, this is gonna be trial and error, but hopefully this one works. If not, we'll go ahead and try a different way. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys once everything is put back together. Alright guys, it is like 2 days later. The reason I'm recording right now barely is because last time, like I told you guys, I tried doing something to get rid of the wastegate rattle already, but it was working for a bit, but the thing that I put fell off after like a few hours of driving. So it's like 2-3 days later now, and I've been testing it out, making sure it doesn't like fall off, or like this thing that I put, the spring keeps working. And honestly, I haven't heard like any wastegate rattle. I think I've heard just a little bit, but the thing is that before you would kind of hear the wastegate rattle every time you would let go of the gas. or every time you're like decelerating and like shifting down, especially if you're like next to a sidewalk or next to like cars or something. But now I barely even hear it. And yeah, so like I said, I've been like testing it out, making sure it does work. And I can tell you guys, it literally got rid of, I would say around like 90% for sure it did get rid of. And that's a huge plus for me, to be honest, because from having a lot of wastegate rattle to 90% less, that's like way better. But yeah, you guys can hear the car. It's not a car, it sounds super good. Pretty cool not having wastegate rattle anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to record right now. You guys can hear the car a little bit. See, right now you would be able to hear a lot of wastegate rattle, but I hear nothing at all. It was literally every time you would decelerate, or like every time you would let go of the gas, you can hear the wastegate rattle. If you guys have wastegate rattle, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, even downshifting here next to like a little sidewalk, I can't hear anything at all. Yeah, it sounds super nice. Car sounds so good, guys. Like, I loved the way my 535 sounded, the way I had it straight piped and everything, but like, damn guys, this V8 just sounds so good. Jeez, this thing sounds so good. And I'm telling you guys, like, literally, if you guys have wastegate rattle, you know, but as soon as you let go of the gas, you get the rattle. And it was super annoying, especially when you have passengers in the car. Yeah, this sounds so good. Especially right here, like low RPM, low speed. You would have heard it for sure right there, 100%. Because I just passed by a car. Here too, you would hear it 100%. Nothing at all. Man, this literally sounds so sick. It sucks because the wastegate rattle was literally like overpowering the sound of the exhaust, and which sucks. Like, you guys can tell how loud it was if it's like overpowering the sound of the exhaust, because the exhaust is pretty loud. But yeah, this thing sounds so sick. And now I'm back home. Anyways guys, that's gonna go ahead and end today's video. Literally this like $5 to $7 mod fixed the wastegate rattle on the M5. And yeah, it just sounds so sick, so much better, because like I said, it was literally overpowering the sound of the exhaust, and like, you guys can just imagine how loud it was. And if you guys have wastegate rattle, you know what I'm talking about, so it can get kind of annoying at times, especially when that's all you're hearing. But yeah, luckily we don't hear that wastegate rattle anymore. If we do, it's just barely a little bit, and only sometimes, like rarely, not every single time you let go of the gas like you used to hear it. But yeah, nice little mod for the M5. One more thing less to worry about. The car does feel good. It does feel great. I did wrap the downpipes like you guys saw, and I don't know, after it felt kind of good. I don't know if maybe it was just me or what, but the car did feel nice. But yeah guys, anything else you guys want to see on the car, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I'm working on getting it daily, bring more content for you guys. And yeah, obviously not putting so much miles on the M5. And just in case you guys forgot, we are doing a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers, guys. We're getting so close already. And yeah, I wanted to give something away to you guys that can benefit most of you guys. Maybe some carbon fiber pieces. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm trying to give away. But yeah, 5,000 subscribers, guys. We will be doing a giveaway. Once we hit 5,000, I'll go ahead and make a video explaining to you guys exactly how to join and what the winning prize would be. And yeah. Anyways guys, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. Man, M5 looking so good right here. Hey, this car looks so good at night. Jesus. Peace guys.